The psychology of the niche domination. I always say vividly, as I've mentioned earlier on, big brands always believe that they are everywhere. Not even that they believe it, they are everywhere because they have the finances. They can put the ad everywhere. They can afford, they can go to any length for them to put their ads in the face of their customer. They can spend millions of dollars just to put an ad there. But for a niche brand builder, you don't have that kind of resources. You don't have that kind of capability to be putting hundreds of millions of advertisement. That is why you have to think that, okay, with the little I have, can I just put my ad in the front of people who really needs it, not even just want it, people who really needs it, who will really purchase and derive value from whatever you are creating. So you must create an emotion around that particular niche. I will say deprive yourself away from thinking in terms of I want to chase millions of people once. I mean reaching the mass market. You need to dispatch yourself away from that. So your aim is to speak to a specific person, not to many people. You want to speak to this particular avatar. If I say avatar here, I mean a particular person, identity that you are using as your core brand or core niche avatar. So let's look at the 3 E's that actually determine the niche dominance. I call the very first one here, which is the empathy. Whatever niche you are building, you have to show to your audience that you have empathy for them, especially when you are trying to solve a problem. Empathy, you have to be emotionally connected with them so that they too will be emotionally connected to you. And this is why you see, for example, you see some content creators that they've built so much connection with their followers that they are emotionally connected with each other. Even if the content the influencer commands them to do something, you see them doing it blindly because they followed that person emotionally, blindly. I don't want to use the word blind, but you understand what I mean. Like, they are emotionally connected to each other that you even see some of them dressing like that influencer. That's to tell you the power of empathy they've carved around their followers. So the other thing here, which is the E, another E, the second E here is the expertise. If you prove that you want to create a niche around a particular problem, you must stand as an expert within that niche. If anybody wakes you up in the middle of the night, what do you know about your niche? You should be able to give them hundreds of explanations without even looking at the textbook. You should be able to tell the story around them. You should be able to tell their pain, their gain, what they love, where they go, like going, where they dine, where they like to mingle, the time of music they listen to, their age range. You know, you must be able to be an expert around that niche, so that when you stand your ground, when you are creating content, for example, people know that yes, you actually know what you are talking about. You are an expert within that domain. That's why I always advise people that make sure you can create your niche around your area of expertise, not necessarily you trying to build a niche around something you don't have idea or experience, or you have to learn from scratch. That is the idea around it. And the third E, which is the edge. If you are able to do all this that I have explained earlier on, you have an edge over your competitors. Your competition will not be able to beat you in your own game because you are an expert within that domain. You have shown a lot of empathy that is connecting you with your audience, and this will give you an edge around it. These are the 3 E's that determine a niche dominant if you are choosing a particular niche. So, as I mentioned earlier on, I said you have to differentiate yourself from a wealth builder versus an income earner, because I believe this is your freedom. It is your freedom, which is why I said it is your freedom equation. So, for example, incomes can buy you things, but wealth can buy you time. This is very crucial. Always remember this. Income can buy you things, but wealth can buy you time. So I always believe that if you are trading your time for money, you don't have your freedom. But if your money is working for you, or you are able to buy back your time, I believe you are building wealth. Wealth does not necessarily mean financial wealth. There are a lot of wealth that are involved in when it comes to wealth building. I think I have it in the 4 layers of freedom. Don't let me just keep the thing wrong. Let's come back to the framework. Income is earned by time, capped by energy, while wealth is earned by system, compounded by brand, which is why I am of the philosophy that you need to build a brand if you really want to create wealth, because nobody is wealthy through salary earning. For example, you have to make wealth, you have to create wealth by owning a business, by creating or owning a brand. You have to do this. It is not a rocket science, but this is the rules that govern how wealth is being created. The rules of income earning is you have to go and work for someone. You have to go and trade your time for money, then you can earn income. But if you are here that you want to belong to the millionaire club, I believe you have to start thinking in terms of a wealth builder and start eliminating that mindset of income earner. So as I said earlier on, that when it comes to freedom, which is the wealth building we are talking about here, time is wealth building, location is wealth building, purpose achievement is wealth building, financial freedom is wealth building. You can have if you have a freedom to choose your time, the time you wake up, the time you sleep, the time you go out with friends, without thinking about your earnings or without thinking of what your boss will say, I believe that you have created a time wealth of time for yourself. If you are able to choose the location you want to be at any point in time without thinking about it twice, that okay, you have, let's say for example, you want to book a vacation for the next 6 months and you have the finance to do it, and you have the passport to move around, or you have the visa to do that, you have built a location wealth for yourself. What about if you are able to achieve your purpose in life? That means you have built a wealth purpose in your life. And the most common one, which is the financial wealth. What if you have the money that you and your family or your children will spend for the rest of your life without thinking about or worrying about money or financing your life? That means you have created the financial freedom, which is the wealth creation in terms of finance. So this is the mindset I want you to have in mind. This is why I put this question on the slide, that what kind of freedom do you seek from your brand? I believe that is one of the ideology that is playing in your head. What kind of freedom do I want to build for my brand? If you just want to earn little, or you want a financial freedom, you want a location freedom, or you want to achieve a purpose, think it very well, think it through. Then you can be able to adapt it to the brand you want to build. Let's move on. So let's think about mapping the diaspora brand opportunity. I've tried to educate a lot of friends and family around me the opportunity that lies within the diaspora economy in this day and age. It has always been there, but a lot of people have not really paid attention to it. But we might have seen on the headline of the news that billions of dollars are being remitted from the diaspora to the economy. For example, let's say for example, diaspora remittance to Nigeria has been in their billions, multi-billions of dollars every year. You will imagine that less than 10% of that money is invested in business. The rest of the multiple of billions are just money sent to family, money spent to shop for families and so on. What if you are able to derive opportunity out of this diaspora that got the purchasing power? They can purchase from you because they have the purchasing power. They are working, they can spend money if they find the right brand, especially from a brand that is coming from their homeland, that they don't have opportunity to access or to enjoy wherever they are in the diaspora. This is the opportunity. This is the opportunity you start thinking to create a brand around the people in the diaspora. I don't even want to talk about the influx of new japa and japadas. Most especially a lot of Nigerians still want to japa. A lot of Africans still want to japa from Africa today. Who are you building your brand around? Do you want to build it for people that are japadaing, or you want to build it for people that want to japa? Think around it. I believe that these two set of people, whether they are doing japada or they are japa, they have the purchasing power once they are in their best of mindset. Once they see the brand that actually speak their language, I believe there is a lot of money crying to be earned within this particular diaspora economy. Let's come back to the slide. Okay, I think I've touched a lot of things on the slide already, that especially about thinking about the African, the Caribbean, the diaspora hubs. Think at the population. I believe that over 50 million Nigerians alone are in the diaspora across the UK, the US, Europe, and Asian and other part of the world. Over 50 million. Imagine if you intend to just build a product for hundreds of thousands of the 50 million. Even if out of the hundreds of thousands you are able to achieve 10,000 people to purchase your product every month, you are already a multi-millionaire. Just think about it. Even if, okay, I've taken it hyper. Let's say you are able to just get 1,000 diaspora to purchase your product every month. Let's assume the product is worth 50,000 naira, for example. If 1,000 persons purchase a 50k product from you every month, that means you are making 50 million every month. Do the math. This is not a fallacy. This is not a wishful thinking. It's a way of thinking around it. A way of thinking about, okay, we've got over 50 million around the world. Let's say you want to target US alone. Let's assume US has the highest number. Let's say US has like 2 million Nigerians there in the US. If you are able to just carve 500 people from them, or 1,000 people out of the 2 million, 1,000, you don't need more than that for them to be in your funnel, and you are using style to milk them out with your brand every month. Trust me, you are in your million of dollars revenue per year. No doubt about that. So the key point here is the rise of identity driven commerce is there. No doubt about it. And the diaspora are consumers. They are here. They have the high intent, but they have a very low trust to the legacy brand. That means they are seeing product that doesn't really meet the motherland products, what they like consuming. Even though they like the modernized product they see abroad. Let's say, for example, they enjoy the fashion, some fashion of the abroad fashion, but I know that they still want to consume more of Nigerian fashion as well. Not to even talk about the food aspect. A lot of people are in diaspora that they don't even like the food they eat there. They want to eat more of Nigerian food. That's why you see a lot of Nigerian stores opening all over the diaspora economy these days. You see, it's one of the most thriving business abroad is the Nigerian stores. But beyond Nigerian food, I still believe that there are so many opportunities still lying there. We see in the fashion, in the art, within the herbal health and wellness. There are so many more. There are still so many opportunities that are still untapped, or that are not really achieving high potential in terms of people utilizing how best they can make best out of it. So, and I believe that the culture is there. Nothing can take your culture away from you. So if you can think about a brand around a particular culture, instead of us generally, there is, even in Nigeria alone, we know the number of ethnic group that we have. Can you build a brand around for example, the Yoruba people living abroad? Can you build a brand around Yoruba people living abroad, around the Igbo or the Hausas? Even within the Hausas, there is Hausa Fulani, there is the Hausas. Can you build a brand around each ethnic? and you can make the best out of it, because people are not really niching down. They believe niching down means that they are losing their opportunity from the mass market, which is not really the truth. There are so many opportunities there. I just want you to open your eye and start thinking like a niche brand builder. So there is a quote here. I said, you are the supply chain for your story. You have to own it. That means you have to own your brand with all your heart. Then the people you want to serve within that niche will understand the problem or the solution you are bringing to the market. So let's talk about the 7 phases of a niche brand journey. This framework which take you from seed to scale, I think is one of the highest level of adaptation of the niche brand journey. You have to understand some key elements that turn ordinary idea into a freedom brand, that give you the freedom, the financial wealth you are craving or you are aspiring to achieve. So let's start from spark. Spark is the idea or the identity insight. What spark your mind? What is the ideology of this niche that you are trying to be? What brings around the bet or the you identifying the what sparks you to come up with the idea within that niche. Let me put it that way. That is the ideology there. So you have to come up with a genuine idea that are relatable. Let's just move on. You understand it as I move on the framework. You have to find your niche. If I kept on using the word finding your niche, niche is not just a word or a language. It means that you have to find the people, the audience that you want to serve. What are the pain or the passion these people really crave? What pain is really eating deeply into the marrow of their blood? What is it that they are passionate about? If you are able to key into this aspect, I believe you have identified a niche that can turn into a brand. The sprout, which is crafting the MVP offer. After you've identified this, you must be able to create an offer that entices them, an offer that makes sense to them. MVP here mean minimum viable product. You must be able to okay, what's the minimum thing that I can offer to this set of people that will get their attention, that will make them believe that, oh, I think I want that thing. For example, let's say you've tried to identify a niche around men hair grooming, especially let's say their facial hair and the hair in their head. Let's say you are able, if you just want to create a normal hair cream, there is always hair cream all around, but you have to go way beyond just creating hair cream. Let's say your hair cream help people that have a coily hair, for example, or helps people that have a very strong hair to become a coily hair, and you don't just produce that hair cream alone. You were able to give them a well created hair brush or hair comb that comes with it specially for that particular set of people. And at the same time, let's say you are even you've advanced enough to even get them a machine that can actually read the type of hair cream they should use before applying it, or how they can apply it. What if you come with a guide that will teach them how to apply hair cream like a pro? These are the way you build your brand to be exceptional. But what is the MVP that you want to do here? For example, maybe you first of all create the guide. Okay, do you want to get my free guide to get their attention? That is the minimum you can do at that moment. And once you see that people read the guide and they start requesting, oh, I would like to use the product you design in that guide, then you move from MVP to go and produce the product itself. MVP does not necessarily need to be a guide. It can even be you creating the hair cream itself alone as the MVP, while other things that revolve around, like the airbrush, like the testing machine and all sorts around it over or along the line. So let's move on to the story. So launching with a narrative power. I always said it that there is no way you want to create a brand without a story. If you create a story around a particular set of people, that's when it becomes a brand. You must know how to narrate your story in a very powerful way. So let's talk about the system. If you are able to do all this without having a system to take your brand to the consumer, or to the niche, or to the identity people that you've identified as your avatar, there's no point you building the brand in the first place. You must have a system that back you up, a system that you follow to get the product from there, from the point of production to the point of order, or to the point of sale. So, and after the system, I believe there is a method, or there is a next step, which is called the scale. So the scale is how you now get it from one particular avatar to 100 of that type of persons all over different places. There is a way you get it. Let's say, for example, your first ad is just targeted to your organic audience. It's not an ad, it's to your organic audience, and you are able to see like 100 of people showing interest, which I always call them, for example, your tribe of 100. That means your tribe of first 100 customers that truly believe in you. But you want to take it beyond your tribe of 100 to your next 500 or 1000. You are not going to use the same tactic. You might now start putting in ads to your products. You must start using different type of platform to create these ads, and make sure a lot of people are able to see the products you are actually or the brand you are trying to put out there. And the last one, which is the sovereignty, which is your brand independency and freedom. If your brand is not unique enough, anybody can copy it. You will not have the superpower. You must trademark it, you must protect it, you must have your unique power that will make anybody not to snatch it away from you. These are core things that need to be at the background of your head in terms of the this freedom framework. That's your understanding that you need to have in mind. So there is a question for you on the slide. We say, where are you now in the 7 phases? Are you just at the sparking level? Are you at the soil level, or the sprout, or the story, or the system, or the scale, or the sovereignty? If you already have a niche that is burning in your heart, you're probably in the idea stage, or the identity insight stage. If you already build the audience around that niche, you probably be in the soil. If you already craft your MVP, you've created your brand sample, probably you are in the sprout level. If you are already you already launched the product, putting it in the hand of few people, maybe you are at the story level. And if you already like start building a system around it, maybe you are in the system level, and so on and so forth. So you have to think where you are at this point, or at this stage, for you to be able to fix yourself in this framework. So let's go on. So the next level of on the slide is your personal branding. The first thing people see is you before they even see your brand or your product. If you don't have a personal brand, if you don't believe in yourself, for example, how will others even believe in you? If you don't believe in your brand, how will others even believe in the brand you want to sell to them? You must stand as the role model for your brand. Just the same way I'm doing right now. I must stand as the role model for whatever you are building, for whatever solution or brand you are building. You must stand as the role model. If you don't give them proof of concept, if you don't prove that this system works, how are they going to trust you? How are they going to believe in you? So your personal brand really means a lot. It rings a lot of bells in the mind of whosoever that you are trying to sell your idea to. Not that people don't buy from logos. They buy from legacies. They buy from what you've done. They buy from the story you are telling, and the proof that they can see from your own personal identity. Remember this key concept. You are the first story your brand tells. For example, personal value equals to brand filters. Authenticity as a competitive advantage. That means if you tell your story right, people see the authenticity in your face. You are not a scammer, you are not a fraudster, and you don't deceive people. You are a sincere person. You call white, your white is white, your blue is blue. People will trust you, and they will believe in the brand you are building. These are very important when it comes to your personal branding, and when it comes to using your personal branding as the your core power to your niche branding. This your personal branding is extremely important. So I think I've got some exercise for you here on the slide, which is I want you to list 3 elements from your past. You will build it into your brand story. You will use this evidence to build your brand story. What are the pains that you've experienced before, or what are the pain that someone you know have experienced, or what are the pain that your friend or your lover have experienced before, that you can turn into a story that can become a brand. Just think about it. Think about 3 of them, because you're going to select the best out of it. Maybe that will even turn to your niche brand in the nearest future. Just think around that. So just the module recap, which is understanding that building a niche brand is the next cash cow in this era. In these modern days, if you don't build niche and turn your niche to a brand, I think you just want to sell a product. It's better you just go and be doing reselling. But if you really want to build something that can make you to be a millionaire or multi-millionaire, I believe you have to build a brand. You have to build a brand around a particular niche. So I've got some assignments for you here. This is not a school. This assignment is for your own good. I believe and I hope you take it seriously in order to achieve the goal of this training, which will benefit you, not for me, not for my own benefit. It's just for your own good. So I will advise you that you should identify a niche and the origin of the niche in 300 words. So your niche brand story, origin story, try to carve it in 300 words and think about it in terms of someone you know, or something that happens, the problem that happens to the person, and what promise are you trying to say to them. So then try to understand, identify your current phase on the brand journey as well, or the brand journey map, which I have shown in the previous slide. Then you can put this together in order to start thinking around the kind of brand you want to create. So to reflect on it, on all this, is what makes your brand inevitable in the market you are about to enter. This is the core question you need to ask yourself, that what makes your brand inevitable in the market you are trying to build a niche around. If you are making this far, I congratulate you for the module 1, that you have sit down and listen and read and try to understand the knowledge I'm trying to pass to you here. But there are some useful reading that you might like, or that might be help you to buttress your understanding beyond me verbally preaching it here. So you can get a copy of Build on Demand, or you can get a copy of Niche Brand Millionaire, or you can get a copy of The Nichepreneur. These are exceptional books that can change your story, that can help you, guide you from 1 A to Z without cracking your head. I'm not trying to exaggerate it. If you get a copy and you read it, you don't find all these things that I've said inside, just know that I'm trying to deceive you, of which I know that you will enjoy it. You will enjoy every bit of it, because they are there to just guide you to achieve this your millionaire status. So if you have any question, you know how to contact me. There's email you can get in touch with me there. There's WhatsApp group there, and you have the website as well. I hope to see you in the module 2. Thank you for your time.